Hi Sagittarius, this is your general reading for the month of November 2018. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it may not resonate entirely with everyone, but you can also check out the other videos for your sun, moon, or rising sign. And if you want to know about your life path or trajectory, check out the sign that correlates to your north node. Oh, and just as a warning, sometimes cats will pop in, but also I swear from time to time and burp. It means that energy is running through me. Okay, and also happy birthday to those of you who are celebrating in the second half of November and of course first half of December. All right, let's see what's going on for you guys in the month of November. Well, it looks like relationship issues are coming up because you've got the Three of Cups in reverse. So sometimes this can mean a third party situation. There might be someone else who has entered into the picture that you did not co-sign. So it could be that somebody cheated or you realized that someone was cheating. Something happened with another person. But it's interesting because you guys got the Two of Cups. So this could also just mean that this is a relationship that is entering into your life or is important in your life. So it could even be maybe you guys cheated or you met someone new and you realized you wanted to be with that new person. For most of you, I feel like it could just be a new person, and maybe it feels like this person is an interloper into your friend group. It's also a possibility. Either that or someone else is dating someone that feels like that person was an interloper into your friend group. However it applies. But this is the source of some anxiety for you. I feel like this could also be a business related to a business partnership. Either way, it's got you feeling some kind of way, some kind of emotional, because this card, the Nine of Swords, is usually anxiety. It's something that's bothering you. And it could be that you're dealing with someone who is emotionally stingy, someone who's withholding because they're too busy being focused on themselves and what they can get, not what they can give. And so because of that, you're deciding that something has to come to an end. With the Ten of Swords in reverse, usually I feel like you've already kind of made that decision to walk away, that there's something that you realize, this anxiety, these feelings, they just aren't worth it. And it's time for me to let this thing die. With this card, the Ten of Swords, I often see it as you don't get more dead than 10 swords on your back. You're dead. It's done. Whatever it is, it's time to let what is dead die. Okay. Let's see what else is going on with you guys. Well, it looks like you're moving out of a stage of financial poverty. There's some situation that you've decided to move out of. I feel like it applies to work because you've got a lot of pentacles here. So there's something where you decided to go for it. With the Knight of Swords, I often see this as you're just ready to move ahead, full steam ahead. You're in it. With the way that that horse is, you're fully jumping into it. With the Five of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like you're past the point of financial poverty or feeling that. It could also be a mindset of financial poverty, of feeling like you're just seeing all of your missed opportunities. You're seeing things that haven't gone your way, and you're like, you know what? I'm done. I'm ready to move on. I feel like you could have also been dealing with someone who was maybe not entirely mature. The pages aren't necessarily always people, but I feel like in this case it could be for some of you. It could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio that you're dealing with, or someone who's just emotionally immature, not coming from the best place. Because with the pages, it feels like usually, I would say someone in their late teens, early 20s, that kind of energy. So it could be feeling someone too who's just really emotionally immature, someone who is not coming from the best place. And it might be that I feel like with that, it's not a huge influence in your life. It's someone that you just realize you don't want to be around anymore. And that could have to do with this situation as well. But and maybe it's that you've made a decision as far as, this could also relate to your relationship, the one that we were just talking about, because I feel like you've decided to replace this person with this person. This person is emotionally secure, emotionally stable, and financially secure and stable, because the Six of Pentacles is someone who is able to help, is wealthy enough that they can help others. You know, for some reason I'm hearing in my head that quote from Audrey Hepburn, you have two hands in this life, one to help yourself, the other to help others. So it could be that either you decided to help other people, that you want to be in that position, or you want to be with someone who is in that position. Someone, I think basically someone who's not selfish. Someone who is emotionally available to other people and is able to help them in any way that they want. Not necessarily that it's like a martyr case, but that they're mature. That's more what it feels like. Someone who is financially stable and secure and mature. Because you want to move out, you've decided to move out of a situation that makes you feel trapped. With the Devil, it's usually something that makes you feel stuck or trapped. It can also relate to addiction and lust. But when it comes in reverse, it means that you're able to see your way out of it. So whatever the situation is that makes you feel chained, you know, because that's what this is about with these two people being chained to the Devil, is about saying, I'm sort of like making the Devil release you from whatever that bound, whatever making you feel bound. So you've got the Eight of Wands in reverse. And with this card, I feel like there's slow communication. So this could relate to this situation where you're trying to move out of it quickly. You're trying to end something quickly, but it's just not happening. It feels like it's just at a very slow pace, and you're feeling kind of frustrated by that, because it's like you'll think what you're saying through very clearly. You'll have it in mind, and then you'll say it, and it's eloquent. It's considerate. It's not rude. It's just to the point and factual and honest. But at the same time, I'm getting like, not, you don't want to be rude. You don't want to trample on someone else's feelings, but you want to get the show on the road. You know, whatever it is that you want to end, you just want to end it. Or you want to move something forward and it's not happening. And I feel like it's because someone's kind of dragging their feet. And so you're feeling frustrated by that. So with this card, it means it's not that it's not happening. It is happening. Things are moving forward, just not at the rate that you would have hoped for. And I feel like it's really because of the other person, and possibly this person, you know, however this applies to you. But it feels like they're being immature. And the sooner you can extricate yourself, the better. But recognize it may take some time. And you don't have to spend a lot of time being anxious over that. You don't have to spend a lot of time in worry or sorrow or insecurity, because this person doesn't get to have that much control over you. They just don't. It's your life. So I would say go ahead and do the things that you feel good about, that make you feel happy. You know, it's other person that you would rather be with. Spend time with them. Focus on the things that you like about them. You know, I feel like an opportunity here to focus on the things that you want to do, and also the things that you want to work on with the Eight of Pentacles upright, because this card could relate to work or a relationship. You know, it's about putting in the effort and working towards something, and you really enjoy it. There's something about the work in that you really enjoy. So it could even be, I think for a lot of you, it's like you've met someone new, or maybe this is just a couple of you, but whatever the relationship is, you thought, oh my God, I thought relationships before were a lot of work, but this is the first time I've seen it, and I actually want to put in that work. I want to put in that effort, and I enjoy it. I'm excited about it because I like this person, and I feel like it's actually going somewhere because they actually give back. They're not immature. And that's why you're like, I want to get out of this trap situation. Let's get this show on the road, you know? And so let's see. What else do they have to say to you about this? Whoa. Okay. Well, This has been coming up a lot this month, the Tower. Now, this isn't, I feel like with this, it really has to do with illusions. Your illusions about something are shattered. You're seeing the truth for what it is. So it could also be that this whole event is helping you see this other person for what they are. You're seeing yourself for who you are, not in a bad way, but, you know, illusions mean that you thought you knew a situation, you thought you knew yourself, you thought you knew the other person, and this event has happened where you're finally seeing everything clearly and for what it is. And you're like, okay, that's it, I'm done. And I feel like it's really not a lot of thought. There's not a lot of confusion. And what I'm getting is that you're probably thinking, this is the first time I've seen things clearly in a long time, including myself and others. That there's just some realization that you've had that you don't want to do it anymore. And there's something that you want to build. You know, the Three of Pentacles can be about teamwork. Because you have the actual person doing the construction and these people who are consulting on it, right? So it can be about a collaborative event, but it's also about building something for the future. And it's about, you know, he's building this in a church. So it's about building something that's going to last longer than you do. And that will last a long time. Is that coming into focus? Well, I hope you guys can see it. So it's really about this thing that's going to last beyond your years. So what is it that you want to build toward? What is it that you want to work toward? And who is it that you want to work with? Because I feel like the person that you could be dealing with is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, it could be an earth sign. So Capricorn, Virgo. Oh my God. My mind is totally blanking. Whatever the other earth sign is. Taurus, sorry. So it could be dealing with someone who has one of those signs or a lot of earth in their chart, or just someone who's really grounded, someone who's financially stable. I feel like it could just be someone who you feel like has both feet on the ground and they see the world for what it is. And that's the thing that you find appealing, is that this person has their shit together. And that's someone you can build a future with, whether that's related to business or a relationship. Okay, well, I feel like they're kind of repeating themselves, but there's something where you feel like you have some options, but with this card, I often see it as, you know what you want. I feel like they just really want to grind this one message into you, because this is also like, you have all these options in front of you and you're like, I don't really want all those. I know what I want, and it's not that. It can also be, again, about illusion, seeing the truth for what it is. Now, with the Hanged Man in reverse, sometimes this is about a need for a perspective shift. So the Hanged Man usually is about someone where you're kind of like in a position for a period of time. There's not a whole lot you can do to change it, especially if this other person is dragging their feet. So sometimes it might help to see things from their perspective. So that could be one way to get out of this situation, is to see something the way that they see it, and then coming up with that pinch hitter comment that's just going to end it and nip it in the bud and say, this is it. Because it also could be a lesson for some of you in seeing things from their perspective. Seeing the situation, you know, it's like, this is you and this is seeing it from above, and being able to see all the different elements that are combined in it. Because if you can see things from another person's perspective, you can understand their motivation, and that might help you get out of this. But it might also feel like you're being persecuted. It might also feel like you're being judged harshly or unfairly. And I feel that with part of this, with the King of Cups, now this could also be someone that you're dealing with in this situation, possibly a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So, or it could just be someone who is emotional. Now this could also be you, with masculine energy, you know, whether you identify as male or not, but everyone has masculine and feminine energy within them. But this is about that emotional energy. So I feel like it's almost a challenge, especially for those of you who are male or identify as male, to be mature, to handle this in a mature way. and an emotionally mature way. And I feel like it's possible, but it almost might feel like a test. You know, that someone's trying to push your buttons and you're like, I'm trying to handle this as best I can. And I feel like this is telling you you can. You really can. I don't care how many of your buttons that they're pushing, you can. And sorry, some child sounds like it's being tortured outside. But it feels like you have to put yourself to the test and make sure that you're going to pass. Because for some of you, I feel the impatience. I feel your desire to move on. But at the same time, this is your opportunity to go the dignified route, to do the right thing, and to be the best person that you possibly can. What's coming to mind is the phrase, the true test of a person is how they treat someone who can do nothing for them. You know, that if you're working with someone who can't help you move up or you can't get anything from them, if you treat them with kindness and compassion, that shows, or however you treat them, shows how you really are, you know, your true personality. But I feel like this person will probably test your limits on purpose. And you have an opportunity, and I just keep hearing, take the dignified route. Take the dignified route. You know, do the honorable thing. And if you feel frustrated, there are definitely ways you can release your aggression or your frustration, I would say, because it's hard when someone's pushing your buttons. You know, if somebody knows, oh, well, these are all your weak spots and I'm going to poke at them because I can, and because it gives me a sense of importance, or I don't know why I keep hearing sense of urgency, but it could be that they're feeling a sense of urgency, so they want to spark a reaction from you. You know, you're dealing with someone who's not entirely mature, so they're going to pull all the punches that they can to try and get to you. And I feel like for whatever reason, I just keep hearing this is a test. It's a test of your endurance. It's a test of your emotional maturity. And I feel like it's important for no one else except you to pass it. Because if you pass it, you will come out of it thinking of yourself differently in a more positive way. You know, you'll think, okay, I did handle that the best way I could. This person wanted me to take the low road. They wanted me to be immature. They really pulled out every possible thing they could think of, and I did not take the bait. And if you do, I would say have kindness, compassion for yourself. Learn the lessons that you can from that experience. But for those of you that are seeing this in time, do whatever you can to take the high road, even if that means you don't respond to the person for 5 days. You know, you don't have to have a response. And remember, no is a complete sentence. But take care of you and go the dignified route, especially if all of this is in writing. Especially if it's in writing. It's really important to not take the low road in this. Okay. And I don't know why it's so important. You'll probably know later on. But your spirit guides are hammering me about this. Okay, so then you have the Seven of Pentacles, which I think relates to the situation that once you work through it, things will start to get better and you'll be realizing that you're growing. I feel like it's like you're growing, you're developing, you're emotionally maturing. And that could be what this whole test is about moving forward. Because with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like you've been harvesting, you've been working, you're not seeing the fruits of your labor just yet. There's no fruit on those bushes, but it's a matter of taking a step back and seeing how far you've come. You know, that whatever it is that you're working on or toward, with this card in particular, I see it as looking at what you've done and acknowledging that. Because it's easy to think that you haven't done anything, no matter what you're doing, you know, and you might have taken 5 steps and thought you'd taken 3, or you've taken 12 and thought you've taken 2, that kind of thing. So this is really acknowledging what you have done, how you've grown, how far you've come, especially if this year tested you a lot. You know, it's been an intense year. We've had every planet go retrograde so far. So there's been a lot of stuck and stagnant energy, a lot of emotional clearing, especially with this Venus retrograde. There's a lot going on, a lot coming up. And I feel like when it comes to relationships for some of you, it's going to put you through the ringer. It's going to be brutal. But I see you coming out of it and coming out of it victorious. And at the very end, either you'll have a new relationship or you'll have made a decision, because the lovers I always see, and it's possible you could be dealing with a Gemini. That's what this card is. But, well, I just got a clear message. What I'm hearing is, if you find yourself in a dichotomous situation, take the best route. Take the best route for you. Don't take the low route. What I'm hearing is, do the thing that gets you into heaven. However you define heaven on earth, right? However it feels best for you, that's the thing that you can do. But it feels like there will be a choice that you're making. And I just keep hearing, don't take the low route, whatever that means for you, whether that relates to business or a relationship. Go with the thing that makes you most happy. Yeah. And love yourself. Have compassion and care for yourself no matter what you do. You know, this feels like a big test, and you guys are coming into your birthday season, which can often feel like, I just keep hearing test, but so with your birthday season, it's like you're going through your winter before you have your birthday, right? And then your birthday is your new year. And I would say, for those of you who are going through these sort of tests of darkness coming up, it's almost like a dark night of the soul is what I'm hearing. It's an opportunity for you to rewrite the playbook. So I feel like it could be that you guys are working on changing big patterns in your life, that whatever this is, there's probably a greater change at large that's happening in your life, where this whole thing could be changing the way you see structures and relationships and different things that are going on. And it's an opportunity to kind of reset that pattern for yourself. And so you can see your birthday as your new year, right? And I know we're almost about to have a new year right after your birthday. But what I would say, whatever it is that you want to be doing in the year ahead, try to plan to do that on your birthday as much as you can. Obviously, different commitments mean you may not be able to. But around that time, do what you possibly can. And for some reason, I'm being guided to tell you, for those of you who are concerned about money, one witch's tip that you can do on your birthday, and if you forget, you can also do it on the new year, on New Year's Day, is to open up your front door, take some dollar bills or some bills of cash, and put them right outside your door, and then sweep them through your front door. That's one way to try to make sure that you have more money coming in, and make sure that it's your own earned cash, that it's not borrowed from someone else, because otherwise you don't want to set that tone. You want to set the tone that it's money that you earned. And if you have multiple incomes, then have it be cash from the job that you would prefer to be doing most of the time. Even if you have to take out money, but then set that intention with it and say, this is money I earn. Money comes to me easily doing what I love. Anyway, I hope that all of that was helpful for you, Sagittarius. I hope you have a wonderful month of November, and I will see you next month.